All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Dash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Dash. We give double honors to the apostle elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai in these last days. 2021, which is the year of hastening the coming of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. We're seeing prophecies take place left and right. This coming Jacob's trouble, which we can definitely see it coming down the line, man. As the stage is set, pieces are being made, but like it says, Yahweh Shai has already given us the victory. Yahweh Shai has already beaten this. He's already gained the victory over death. So it's already a winning battle, really. It's a win-win for us. Lord willing, we be a part of the elect. But all Israel shall be saved, man. We're coming to that transition time of out of our low times into the greatest times that we've seen for our nation. So let's jump into it. This lesson is going to be called E is trying to please the poor, or pleasing the poor. Something on those lines. I'll see how the Spirit works it when I upload it. But there was a few articles that I found dealing with things that have been taking place spiritually. When I seen these articles, I seen that the Lord is making moves. These moves might seem insignificant to others, but if you pay attention to what it's really saying, then you can see that the Lord is starting to return us and return our possessions. All right, so let's jump right into the article. This is an article from Return to Now, and it says, generous, it ain't generous, okay? Esau tries to slip this stuff in here, but we'll read in the article and show you it's not generous, okay? Generous Colorado landowner returns ancestral land to tribe. Okay, so I seen this article, I was like, okay, that's a crazy story, but if you read down in the story, this is what it says. After discovering Native American ruins on his land, white man gives it and his house back to the tribe that once lived there, okay? Which that's spiritual in itself, but this is the guy right here. If you see him in the middle, you see, you can tell, man, like he really didn't want to do it, but he had to do it. So let's go down here. It says a Colorado landowner was inspired to return his land to the Native Americans 3 years after purchasing it and being haunted by the spirits of its ritual owners' guardians. That's a heavy sentence right there, man. That is a heavy, heavy sentence. Why do I say that? Because you see that the spirit world deals with Jake, man. This is more proof that you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are important to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Because this story reminds me of a famous story. If we let's go to Google real quick. Guys, let me see if it come up. Okay, here we go. The Poltergeist. Okay, the movie Poltergeist. Right. I looked into it years back, doing videos, and I seen this come up. The movie Poltergeist was actually based on a true story, which was what? It was a slave burial ground. Okay. I'm just gonna type it in. Look, slave. Okay, so the movie itself, Poltergeist, because this is gonna touch on Gad, and it's gonna touch on Jake, man. Okay, so it says, let's read right here. It says the notion that it was an American Indian burial ground is ever referred to the episode of Family Guy, the Poltergeist. Let me see. I don't think they go into it. Okay, look, this is the one. I'm gonna try to read this quickly and then we can jump. But the point I'm saying is that the spirits deal with Jake, especially that's why it says blood defileth the land. The Lord knows where the blood of his children have spilt on. Okay, and he pays those pay for that. So there was a lot of extra things going on around these areas. But let's read this. It says the Black Hope Horror Texas. It says the Black Hope Cemetery is an old burial ground where slaves were laid to rest for generations. Unfortunately, residents in Newport area were built over this old cemetery, making the spirits of these slaves restless. Stories of these poltergeist-style hauntings were outlined in various articles throughout the 1980s. In local and national newspaper, a number of residents of the subdivision of Hilltop Drive reported that they considered evil activity, including, and where evil was bad times, including apparitions and much worse, what is that? Paranormal. Many reported toilets flushing on their own, objects moving on their own, pets would go crazy, birds would appear to attack them, and worst of all, their friends and other local residents would grow sick of diseases that ended up fatal. In 1992, a TV movie titled Grave Secrets was based on the events of this community. So that's just another thing, but to show you, fast forward to this, that this took place even recently. So it's an ongoing thing, man. That the Lord is jacking those up that are touching our possessions, but our mainland is Israel. Okay, that's what we're getting to go back to. But this is just spiritually to show you that the Lord is working, man. All right. It says when the artist and plumber Rich Sinder purchased a few acres of land in the Wild Horse Mesa of 2015, he had no idea what he'd find there. Let's jump down here. It says on his hikes around the land, he began to find artifacts of people that had lived there for thousands of years, strange arrangements of stone forming fireplaces and chimneys along the hillside, a stone axe and a rock table he believed was used to slaughter animals. See? I started wondering who owned this land, he said. Whose land was this? But then let's jump down here. It says it was a dream I couldn't hold on to. He said he had a premonition about it the first time he visited the land after he bought it. After falling into an afternoon nap, he dreamed that his tent was gone and indigenous children were touching his skin. He snapped awake, packed his truck, and left for a hotel. See? So that's showing you that, look, man, the spirits was jacking with him, man. Okay? So that on the whole, we're getting ready to have ourselves restored, our goods restored, man. The Father's restoring us, man. You know, and he's the one that's making it happen. All right? And then reading this story, it led me to another story of the same type of, not with the haunting, but just Edomites that are giving Gad, that same tribe that was given this land back. A woman gave them $250,000 for the things that their grandparents did. Okay, let's read it. It says professor gives $250,000. So imagine what she got. Imagine what this professor got. If she's giving out $250,000, imagine what's in her account. I understand Edomites want to do something good or whatever, but they ain't finna go broke for it. They're not finna go broke for it. Let me keep reading here. It says professor gives $250,000 to Ute Indian tribe. Forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. To compensate for great grandparents profiting off tribal land sales. See that? It says photo courtesy of Ute Indian tribe politically action committee from left Ronald Whoopsock, a member of the Ute Indian tribe business committees, accepts a $250,000 check from Kristen Stellar Middle. It says she doesn't consider it a donation, though it says though she jokes the IRS might look at it as in that way, and she doesn't think it makes her a saint of any sort. For Kristen Stellar, it's simply a returning what was stolen. On Monday morning, the retired professor transferred $250,000 to the Ute Indian tribe in east central Utah. The money, Stellar said, came from her family inheritance, generated by her great-grandparents selling off American Indian land more than a century ago and then investing the profits. So they got back more on what the land was worth, rather than just keeping something when it became pretty obvious to me where that the money came from that I inherited. I would rather give it back to the people who lost the land, she said. See? So these things are happening, man. Why is that taking place? Because the scripture said it would. The scripture said it would, man. The scriptures, they're on point, man. That's why it says him that believes there's no God is a fool, man. Because his words are coming to pass. How this book is a fairy tale book, but exactly what it says in it, you can read it. This is Job 20 and verse 10. Whole chapter is pretty good. It says Job 20 and 10. It says his children, whose children? The wicked. All right, namely the Edomites. That's the ones that have us in their possession. We're still in their possession. We haven't been let free. They still doing what they're doing on their own accord. So we're not free yet. See, we're hoping to be free. We're praying to be free. All right, and it's not, hey, you do your thing. You got your time. That's like Ecclesiastes says, there's a time for everything under the sun. You know, you got your time for wickedness, but there's going to be time for righteousness, man. This is Job 20 and 10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. So this is prophecy. This is prophecy, man. The children. This is the great-great-granddaughter of the Edomites that took the land. She restored their goods, man, seeking to please the poor. And she said, I don't call this a donation. I call it returning stolen property. What was stolen? Let's read the precept. It matches right up. And his children, doesn't mean it ain't got to be a son, because this woman is from the line of that father, that man that took the land. So she would be considered a child of those that stole it. All right. And it says, his children shall seek to please the poor. And his hands, let me go down. And his hands shall restore their goods. Let's look at the word please. That razah says to please, be favorable to, accept favorable, to be pleased with, be favorable to, accept, to be pleased, be determined, make acceptable, satisfy. See? To satisfy something. To be accepted, be pleased, to seek favor. So just like this guy, he had to do it because the spirits were getting him. He probably ain't telling you everything that he was going through. But he looks relieved to get that land away from him. He even gave him the house. He said, I don't even want the house, man. Take it. That shows you he had to get up out of there, man. And then same as her. She had to seek the, hey, this is a stolen thing. Yeah, because she's got money. If that was her last little bit, I don't know if she'd be turning that money in. She a professor, so she probably got a tenure somewhere at a nice college, so she's good. So she figured this is my way of trying to, do some good in the world. Might not even like the grandparents, just a way to just to do, there's always some hidden agenda, man. But at the end of the day, the Lord's pushing that and pushing that spirit and that vibration out here, man. And we're our goods are getting restored, man. It says his bones. Let's jump down to verse 15. Job 20 and verse 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of ass, and viper's tongue shall slay him. And you seeing it now, man. All right, you seeing the things that's taking place to Esau, the calamities that's happening to him. The Lord is in just like poison courses through the body, man. It says he shall not see river. He says he shall not see the rivers and the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. Jump down to verse 18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. So at the end of the day, the Lord, he ain't gonna, everything that these elites have gathered and they've taken, they ain't gonna get to enjoy it. They can't enjoy it fully because they gotta hide in a secret organization, and they can't really be out. They can't enjoy it like they want to enjoy it. They don't want. They want to go out, wear dresses, and do all types of freak nastiness in the open. They don't want to hide. That's why they're making the world to lock down under that new currency. Because once that happens, they don't have to hide because they're gonna control everything. There's not gonna be no secret agenda then because they got the whole world under their grasp, man. Okay. This is Job 27 and verse 17. It reads, he may prepare, it says, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. He buildeth his house as a mouth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. Okay, now that goes into tents. Okay, a booth is a tent. And used to have the shepherds. They used to they camp out there with the sheep. And it says, a rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He openeth his eyes, and he is not. Terrors take hold of him. It says, terror take hold of him as waters, and tempest stealeth him away in the night. All right. So the point is that this man is at a point of he's coughing up them things back, and their children are seeking to please the poor. But they even in Wisdom of Solomon, you read that it says they're gonna complain of an unrighteous father, man. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I think I'm going to stop it there. With that, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Karkadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Ba'ashem Karkadash. Till next time, keep faith, keep fighting, keep pushing. Shalom.